Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm your host, Erica Cookie Alexander, and welcome to Love and Good Music, the special Cookie Jar edition. Woo! Oh, thank you guys so much for being here. I know I've been away, but I've been away for good reasons. And I'm gonna let you know all of that and all that I've been doing, all that I've been up to. I'm so sorry. Trust me, I've missed you guys so much, but at the same time, your girl had to live her life. And life was definitely happening in so many different ways, as it does happen for everyone, right? So I just wanted to come here today and at least get another episode up, show my face, tell you guys I love you, and share some of, my goodies that I've been up to, and also we're gonna do the cookie jar on me. So hope you guys are ready for that. These are not pre-thought questions. These are all old cookie jar questions that I'm literally gonna ask on myself. So I'm super excited about that. But you know how we do. I still want to stay true to the show and still start off with some spirituality. So today I am going to still pull from my handy dandy affirmation deck that is called She Glows Within, and then we'll get this show started. All right, so let's go ahead and take a couple breaths. I'm gonna go ahead and shuffle the cards. Let's see which one we get. Ooh, this one says purpose. Ooh, I like that. So fitting to, I feel like, everything that I've been going through, of course. So this one says purpose affirmation. I expect all things to work for my highest good. I expect all things to work for my highest good. Even when I am faced with doubt, I will have faith that God will lead me exactly where I need to be. Even when I am faced with doubt, I have faith that God will lead me exactly where I need to be. No part of my journey is wasted. It all serves a greater purpose. No part of my journey is wasted. It all serves a greater purpose. And that's that on that. Whew, gotta love that. Oh man, such a good word, right? Because all roads lead to back to the same road. Like, you really never can. Not to say that you can't deviate off of life's journey, because I definitely think I've deviated from my path, but I always circle back and I always end up finding my way. Speaking of deviating, I know I told you guys I was going to check in with you guys at least once a month. I've been gone for like 2 months, maybe even 3, I don't even know. But so much has been going on. Most of you guys know I'm a mom, and my son turned 3 years old. So, that was like a whole thing. And also I've been traveling a lot. I had the opportunity to visit Seattle, Washington recently. And we actually drove up to Everett, Washington, where they have like this little Funko museum, and I got to make this little thing called a pop, and I made my own pop. See, it says Queen Cookie, and this is my pop. This is what she looks like. She's so cute. My pop, she has a little red purse. She has a little leopard sweater. Oh, and she has a microphone that hoe keeps dropping. But anyway, she's my pop. Seattle was nice. I went up there for Mother's Day. Woo woo! Shout out to all the mommies of the world, the portals to bring life to earth. I'm so glad I'm gang. But shout out to my mom. My mom was up there in Seattle. My brothers were up there. My brother had a surprise up his sleeve and done got affianced while he was out there. I think that's how you say that. But he proposed to his girlfriend of like 50 million, 11 years. So who knows how long they've been together. They've been together since middle school, way too long. So super glad for him. She's already in the family, so I don't want to say like I'm gaining a family member. She already been here. She ain't going nowhere. All right. So congrats to them. And that's how my Seattle trip went. It was really, really nice to get away and just, be in a different climate. It was a little chilly, but the air was so crisp and clear, and I just enjoyed myself. Um, my my other trip that I went to that was really, really good was in Indigo, California, similar near Palm Springs area. And I went on a trip there with my sisterhood circle. It's where I really gain a lot of my spiritual tools and enlightenment, and where I learn a lot of my practices from. And, we get together sometimes, we share best practices, we, talk to each other about different things, whether it be religion or how to reach your ancestors, or how to connect with your intuition and different things like that. And it's just really nice to have a group of women that you can connect, you can ask them questions. Oh, I had a question about this dream that I had, or oh, I had this come to me, and you actually have someone to like bounce that off of. So I love my sisters, I love my sisterhood. And we met up recently in Indigo, and it was just a wonderful time. We grew in our spirituality. I actually got an opportunity to find out the name of one of my spirit guides that follows me, and I never would have thought it was her. But it was my great grandmother, and her name is Nicolasa. And so we were in the middle of a sound bowl, and when I was in Indigo, and mind you, I want to put this on because I made this beautiful, wonderful crown when I was in Indigo. So I'm just going to pop it on here like so, and I'm going to rock it during the show. But I was in the middle of a sound bath, and the woman who is super amazing, one of my sisters, she is really into sound bowls, Akashic records, mediumship, and just really in tune with her spirituality, led us in this wonderful sound bowl, and just asked us to call on our spirit guides and to ask them to name themselves, and also to ask them, for confirmation that it's them. So I'm not gonna lie, guys, I'm still a little skeptical. I wasn't raised in this type of traditions, or being this open as far as like connecting with the other side, with spirit, with death, whatever you want to call it, angels, spirit guides, whatever you want to call it. It's still a little new to me. I'm definitely a little bit more open, especially since my grandmother passed away. I know you guys might have saw that in my last episode, but it's still a little, interesting to know that someone that's not here, can't see and feel and touch and any of that, but they're there, and they're guiding you, and they're doing all these things. So I was skeptical going into the sound bowl, and even during, like, it was really hard to connect. She asked after, like, what was going on in our minds, and I was like, I just see a lot of colors. But I did ask the question, and I was like, if you're with me and I know who you are, or please name yourself. I'm like, yeah, whatever, right? I'm not gonna lie, like, I was really skeptical. Within 5 minutes, guys, and mind you, we were at this Airbnb, and I had walked in and out of that Airbnb probably like 5 to 10 times within the weekend. We were there for the weekend. And after this sound bowl, I'm walking out to my car because we're getting ready to leave and go back to LA. And I noticed this etching like in the sidewalk, and I'll put the picture up because you're not going to be able to see it. But in the etching, it says Nicolas, like the boy's name, Nicholas. But the way it was spelled was like Nicolas, like how my great grandmother said. I think it was spelled Nicolasa. And so I was like, oh, that's interesting. But what sealed the deal was underneath it, it said Rosa. Now, remember what I said, like they said, not only ask to confirm, to ask your spirit guides to name themselves, but also ask how to confirm. Now, normally I would ask spirit to confirm in the form of a penny. And anyone that knows me understands pennies. I'll tell you guys a penny story a whole another time because it's a whole another thing. But this time I asked spirit to confirm with a rose. And I don't know why, that was just like the first thing that came to mind. I was like, just say your name and follow it with a rose. And I can't make this stuff up. I'll show you guys a picture. I took a picture of the ground, and it's this family's like carving all their names into the ground. So obviously one of the people was named Nicholas, and one of them was named Rose, but the way that they were printed back to back, and I don't know, it just resonated with my spirit so much. And I had just talked about my grandma Nico in Seattle with my mom, because we had these beans that were really, really good. And if you're a Latino or Mexican, you know, like those bomb ass beans that just been sitting on the damn stove all day that you just want to like keep eating with tortilla or with a spoon. Just give me the beans. But we had some bomb ass beans in Seattle, and I had mentioned to my mom, I was like, hey, you know, those beans remind me of Grandma Nico's beans, because that's all I used to eat as a kid at her house. They used to just make me beans and taco, and I used to just be fucking them up, like, you know, like, give me these beans. But so it's just really interesting that I had just talked about her the week before, literally 7 days before, and a week later, what I believe is that she came to me. Now, you could think I'm crazy. You could say, no way, that didn't happen. To each its own. I think my grandma Nico came to me, and I couldn't be more happy. And it's all grateful to my sisterhood for opening me up to that side, opening me up to spirit, opening me up to talking about it and being a little bit more open about it, and not being I don't want to say a closet witch, because I don't really consider myself a witch yet. I don't practice, I don't do anything like that, but definitely open to all that it entails. And I practice a little bit. I do rituals. I do full moon rituals and things like that. And I do call for money and abundance and things like that into my life. So as I continue to practice, and I guess you could call me a witch, so I'm low-key bruja, but I'm not full-blown witch. I really wouldn't call myself that, but I'm a practicing, I just practice whatever feels good to me. So enough about that. Last trip that I went on was, which actually last weekend, I was in the Big Apple. Yes, I went to New York City, and that was just really good. You know, I wanted to get the hell out of California. It was nice to get away and, you know, see friends. And, you know, I gotta bring a little token back from everywhere. And I told myself I wasn't gonna go shopping in New York. Like, no reason to. Like, I have everything. So something always finds me. We were, my friend, we're walking by the store. She was like, oh, this store is calling my name. And I guess actually it was actually calling my name. And I walked into this, and they had this beautiful candle line called the Harlem Candle Company. This is the beautiful candle, the beautiful box that it comes into. Super fancy. And oh, it smells absolutely divine. Now, there's a couple of reasons why I chose this particular candle. Number one is really deep red, which reminded me of garnet, which is my birthstone. I'm Capricorn. Another thing that drew me to this, the minute I opened it up, it smelled delicious. And the third thing that made me buy this was the name of it, which was Josephine. Now, Josephine doesn't really resonate with me or my family, but it resonates with someone very close to me growing up, and that was his grandmother's name. It's actually my brother's dad. His grandmother's name was Josephine. And so when I seen this, immediately I thought of her, and she was a sweet lady. And so I just, when I do things like that, or when I buy things like that, I hope that I'm calling on the good things of that spirit. And so, yeah, when I bought this, I thought of her, and I was like, oh, you know, I want a piece of you in my house, and, you know, bring that goodness in. So I brought Grandma Josephine into my house in the way that I wanted to, in the way that I know how. I haven't lit the candle yet, but let me just read the beautiful card. Inspired by the legendary Josephine Baker's boudoir, this warm, sensual scent opens with vibrant bergamot, blending into a heart of lush Moroccan rose and Indian jasmine. Amber, sweet tonka bean, and precious sandalwood provide a beautiful finish as exquisite as Josephine herself. Ah, smells so good. Harlem Candle Company, highly recommend them. I don't get no money for this, but their candles smell bomb. Whoop, 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 whoop. So now that you know that I've been up to, I hope that you forgive me for not being here. I was a little behind on my reading. Although I have been reading, I'm a little behind on my reading, so I didn't want to come into a full episode until I'm honorable of my things that I said that I'm going to do. But I also wanted to be transparent and say that I didn't do the things that I needed to do, so we're not going to do that until I am in that space. But for the sake of me going through a lot of things right now, it's like, you know, I always put people in the hot seat. I've been doing interviews for over 10 years. I've hosted red carpets, I've done radio, I've done face-to-face, on camera, you name it, I've done it. Go look at my YouTube videos. I have a lot of content. But the one thing that I don't have is content really of myself. And so I realized that people are always interested in learning about me. A lot of people, like, you know, ask me questions or DM me when they're looking at my stories or my things on Facebook, and I'm like, oh, you know, people are really interested in learning about moi. So I decided to bring in some history and bring in some old Cookie Jar classic questions, as well as some new ones that I was gearing up for in case I had ever interviewed again and then COVID hit. Oh my God. See, COVID killing my show. COVID is the devil. Trying to kill my pop. We good? We good. Oh my God. Anyways, so I decided to turn the cookie jar on myself, and I hope this works out great, okay? So, you know me, I try to keep my episodes to, oh my God, I didn't even do my hourglass. Dang it. I knew I was missing something. That's how you know I am so out of the loop. Okay, anyways, try to keep these slow. So I think I have, just looking at the timer, have about 15 more minutes. So let's see how many questions I can answer. I'm a little nervous because I've seen some of them already. Oh my God. Okay, first question. Best class I've ever taken. Oh, the best class I've ever taken? Okay. Besides like a yoga class, I would say like an educational class that, like, I want to say changed my life was, I was in a community college. I was like 18 or 19 years old. I was just trying to work through my credits. And I took this intro to film class thinking it was just going to be easy because I was like, going to just be watching film, right? Like, and then I seen the roster of films that we were going to be watching, and Wizard of Oz was on there, and I was like, sold. Run me that class right now, because Wizard of Oz is like one of my favorite movies. But oh boy, that freaking teacher in that class like blew my mind. Not only did we watch film, but we watched film for what, you know, the backstory was, what was going on at the times. You know, we looked into the history of what was going on at the times. We looked into the directors and people that were, you know, surrounding the film and their mentality, what type of other films that they did. And, you know, we had to write these like serious papers about these films because we had to dissect everything that was going on, dissecting the characters, who was the protagonist, who was the, you know, the lead, who is this, and like all of these things. And all, I had no idea what I was getting myself into. I thought I was just gonna watch Wizard of Oz, right? Instead, I'm sitting here dissecting the Wizard of Oz and how it was, what was it, the Dust Bowl or whatever was going on at the time, and the Great Depression had just hit, and that's kind of what we see in the movie in the beginning, and how they were depicting the black and white coming out of the Great Depression. There's famine, there's poverty, there's all these things. It's black and white, right? And then coming out of that, there's hope, there's faith, there's this whole new world, right? The colorful, magical world, the wizard of the world of Oz. So yeah, you know, it was a cool ass class. I loved it. Watched a lot of controversial film in there. Get on the Bus, which was, I think, a Spike Lee joint. Maybe I'm wrong. What was another movie we watched? Some biker movie. I don't know, but it was good. And I hadn't seen any of those movies. The only movie I had saw was Wizard of Oz, but all these other movies were maybe like Bad to the Bone, or was that? Anyway, some old ass biker movie, and it was really good. I'll put it on the thing. Okay, next question. Worst parent fail. That's easy as hell. That's easy as hell because it scared me half to death. I thought I was gonna go to jail. So my son must have probably been like 1.5 years old, and in my apartment complex, I don't have a washer and dryer in my unit, so you have to actually like go outside to the washer and dryer room, which is like literally on the other side of my apartment, but still you have to walk over there. And so my son loves doing laundry with me, and so back then it was like his thing. As soon as he knows mommy's getting the laundry ready, he's putting on his shoes, we're going outside, right? So like routine, he's my shadow, he's always following me, right? So I take off, I'm thinking he's right behind me, I didn't look back. I hear the screen gate, I have a screen on my door, I hear the screen gate close. Cool, he's right behind me, right? No. So I walk all the way to the washing room, and I'm like, why is he not behind me? But I'm like, oh, it's okay, he's playing, because he usually plays outside. So I was like, okay, he's playing. Not a big deal. Big deal. I come back, and he's inside my house. The gate's closed, and it's locked. Yes, my 1.5-year-old was locked in the house by himself. And I'm like, holy shiznai! I got that from Little Scrap. What was I gonna do? I mean, I panicked. I thought of every worst case scenario. I was like, gonna go bang on my neighbor's door and tell them to call 911. They have to call the fire department. They're gonna have to come break my damn door down, right? Because what the hell? I need to get in my house. My son's in this house. My son's in the house. Like, what am I gonna do? Mind you, I'm thinking of every excuse to say, because I'm like, dude, they're gonna arrest my ass. They're gonna be like, why is your son locked in the house? Why did you leave him? Like, and I'm like, I was just trying to do laundry, officer. I was just trying to do laundry. Anyways, so that was like a whole thing. So my son, mind you, he's not panicked. He's not fearful at all. He's literally like sitting behind the gate laughing. Like, he did it on purpose. He's the one who closed it, and he's the one that locked it. And so I see him like reaching his hand, and I see him trying to turn the little thing, and I'm like, oh, you know what you're doing. You did this on purpose. Yes, he did. He locked me out on purpose. So he's laughing. He takes little fat little fingers, and he opens the thing, and I came in the house. And I wanted to choke him. But I was just so happy that I got in. I was like, oh my God, thank you for letting mommy in. Whew. Save me a fire department bill. Okay, next question. These are long. I know I'm supposed to probably say one word answers. Oh my God. I can't, obviously. Favorite game I played outside as a kid? Oh, that's easy. I was the hide and go seek queen. I was the hide and go seek queen. I was the hide and go seek queen. I rolled in dodgeball too, but hide and go seek for show. That was fast. Okay, next one. How old were you when you got married? Are we talking about in this lifetime? Because I was not an age yet. Asswipes. Don't ask me that question. However, I did have my Akashic records read earlier. No, not earlier this month. Last month. And for those of you who don't know, your Akashic records, maybe some of you guys heard about it in the movie Soul, the Disney movie Soul that came out in Christmas. But it's basically the records of all of your lifetimes here. Now, whether you believe that or not, it's up to you. No judgment. But I definitely believe that I've been here before. My mom's been telling me since I was a little kid, you have an old soul. So what that meant to me was I done been here because I done know some things. And through reading my Akashic records, I didn't read my records. I had someone read them for me. Although I am working to tap in to read my own records, but you know, I learned a lot about myself in my past lives. Apparently, this is like my 68th or 69th time being here. So I've lived a lot and I've done a lot of things. And nope, no marriage for me in this lifetime. But apparently, my last lifetime that I just came out of, I was a mommy of 4 and I was married. Your girl had a ring. Your girl had a ring in her last lifetime. Hope, hope, hope. Next question. Ooh, what is freedom to me? Freedom to me means no expectations. You know, just like pure, just bliss, like joy, like happiness, like not feeling obligated to anything, just free. No obligations, no expectations. Let's leave it there. I kind of like this game. Let's play it again. Okay. Oh my god. Well, this is perfect because the show's called Love and Good Music. It says, what are my top 3 old school songs? Okay, so this is very hard for me. I'm just gonna say my favorite artists and then maybe like my favorite song from them. So Marvin Gaye is definitely a fave. When I was younger, my favorite song from him was Got to Get It Up. I used to go out and party and stand around 'cause I was too nervous to really get down. Okay, yeah. Anyways, that used to be my favorite, but I think now I'm more into like songs that I don't hear a lot or that you won't hear in TV or radio. I know people have remade that and things like that. So something from out of his catalog that is still bomb. Probably his song I Want You. I like to listen to that song when I'm trying to zone out or maybe when I'm inebriated, but Marvin Gaye's I Want You is definitely one of my faves. Earth, Wind, and Fire, they're a fave. I don't know all of their catalog, but even though this is like a very popular record, That's the Way of the World is my favorite song from them. It's just, I could hear it every time it's on the radio. I blast it. It's just, that's the way of the world. Bomb. And I have to have the Isley Brothers in my top 3 too. Grew up on them. That's dedicated to my mom. My mom knows exactly. She used to play them out. But I would definitely say now as an adult, my favorite song to cha-cha to and dance to is For the Love of You. And growing up, my mom used to play that on the weekends when she was cleaning and stuff like that. So that song resonates in my spirit, and yeah, top 3. I'm probably wrong, but that's all I can think of right now. Okay. How do I heal myself when I'm out of balance? Ooh, that's a good one. Actually doing that right now. Taking a break from everything, including the show, Love and Good Music. I think going into March, I was completely out of balance. I was taking on more than I could handle, and my cup was dry. You know, I was pouring from an empty cup. I was being pulled in a lot of directions at work. I was pulled in a lot of directions in my home life, personal life, and I just ran myself crazy. And that's not what you're supposed to do in life, right? So for me, it's just taking a break, sometimes cutting back in areas that I spend a lot of time. I haven't been on social media in over 3 weeks. So, you know, taking a social media break sometimes, yoga, stretching, breathing, just simple things to do when I feel like I'm out of balance. Okay. How many kids do you have? Oh, that's easy. I have one in this lifetime. His name is Seven. Most of you guys probably see me talking about him in my social media, or you can check my YouTube page. He has made an appearance on there as well, taking a poop in my bathtub, and also, you know, thumbing through my Spotify, and he chose Sade over and over and over again. You know, my baby knows good music. But yeah, I have a 3-year-old, so. Ew. Mommy gang. Favorite place I've ever traveled? Oh, that's easy. Well, actually, no, that's not easy. I've traveled a lot of places, but I've never felt as good as I did when I was in Costa Rica. Something about that place, I believe I was in Puerto Viejo, but I could be confused because I've visited a lot of places, so Puerto Viejo might not even be what it's called, but I'm pretty sure it's called Puerto Viejo. Oh, amazing. Like, what is it called? The rainforest was there. I don't think we saw any sloths, but like, I know the sloths were there, but we stayed in a tree house. Like, that was interesting because, you know, when you're from the city and then you're like surrounded by nature, that could be a little freaky, you know, bugs crawling all over, you know, they had the nets over our beds, and I was like, yeah, but there's bugs all over the outside. Like, that's weird, you know, but I guess it's not weird when you're in it, but coming from the city, we were like, this is a lot. Not only that, the bathtub was outside. So, you know, we're outside bathing, and then there's like all these bugs and stuff like trying to crawl into your bathtub. So, and like, I mean, this is like this bomb house too. It's not like we were out in the, like bomb ass tree house, something you see on Airbnb that you like want to stay at. But interesting when you're in nature, like you have to let it do its thing. But it was beautiful. It was the first time I ever ate monkey, and I know I probably shouldn't even say that, but I had this bomb ass monkey soup, and I'm always down to try things. And so the monkey soup was actually really good, and we tried that in the rainforest on this tour. And then also the best food that I had there was this lobster that this local man had made us, and that was the best lobster I've ever had in my life. And that might be the reason why I like Costa Rica so much. Not because of lobster, but because the people were just so nice. Hospitality was just so nice. Bali's a strong second too. Bali was dope. Best thing I've ever made with my hands. Ooh. Ooh. I'm going to take it back to 7th grade because I'm so proud of this. I made the solar system. My mom brought me like this big old box home, and then I painted it all black, and I stuck on like these stickers of stars, and then we hung little balls that were like spheres from these strings, and they were different sized spheres, and some of the spheres had the rings on it, like if it was Saturn or Jupiter, you know, and depending on what color it was, like I painted them the right color. Like I really put my like foot into this thing, and my teacher thought I had paid somebody to make it because it was that good. Holla at your creative girl. Okay, this is fun. I have a lot of these, so I'm gonna have to like do a part 2, and I'm only gonna answer 2 more questions. I'm already getting over my time. Okay. Favorite childhood book? Okay, well this is easy because they turned it into a movie, so you guys will definitely be aware. Reading Bridge to Terabithia when I was in 5th grade. I don't know why, that's one of my most fondest memories. I was in a transition going into a new school. And I remember I was being very like nervous about going into that school. And I remember going into, this is my transition from public school into private school. I went to private Catholic school, and I remember being super scared and nervous to going in. And as I was going into the school, my 5th grade teacher, Mrs. Lehman, she was so amazing. She had just bought us all this book called Bridge to Terabithia, and she read it, and I just remember her voice just being so pure and so sweet and so kind, and the way that she brought that book to life for me was magical. I haven't even watched the movie because it's already in my head. You know, the book's in my head. And so I feel like if I watch the movie and it's bad, I'm gonna be pissed. So, Bridge to Terabithia, my best and favorite movie as a kid. Okay. Last question, then we gonna get out of here. Last time you got scared. Oh, that's interesting. So this actually has to do with my son too, and this was recent. I'll actually answer the question because this will be quick. This little fool got outside my apartment gate, and I shouldn't call him a little fool, but oh, he knows better. So that was a foolish move. He got outside my gate, and it was because I was walking out there to see what was going on, but one of the neighbors had already had the gate open, so he was a little bit ahead of me, so he went outside, and we're right off the street, so you know, he got excited and wanted to run, and oh, my heart sunk. I was like, my son's gonna get hit by a car. He didn't, but you know, I had to get him and get your ass over here. Okay, final. Oh my god, I should have stopped while I was ahead. This one says, let's be honest. Oh my god. Okay, so obviously I'm heterosexual, but I think maybe in my 20s I would have been a little bit more, no, I wouldn't say I would have been. I was a lot more open to being fluid in my sexuality, but I think now I've kind of calmed down and became a grandma. Not like that, but like, you know, I'm just into like really trying to settle down and find a husband. So totally down for all my lesbians out there, you know, live your life, live your truth, but don't be sliding in my DMs, okay? Because I'm not going down that path at this point. Although, you know, maybe I have some like wild ass moment in my future. I don't know. I'm definitely not a crazy person as far as like not being open to things, but I think in my truth, my heart of hearts in this lifetime, I'm just not into chicks. However, I think I want to ask in my Akashic records if I was ever like a true lesbian or a gay man in a past life. That could very possibly be something that happened. But anyways, guys, that was interesting to learn a little bit about me. And like I said, I'll do this again because I have way more questions to go through. So maybe I'll do a part 2, or if I ever get stagnant between episodes again, we'll have to go ahead and do that. To leave, I do want to let you know that I am gearing up for episode 3 of Love and Good Music, which will be a full episode. We'll dissect a song, we'll have a topic, and I'll definitely let you know the 3 books that I've been reading, and we'll catch you up on everything. But until then, please keep liking, sharing, and subscribing my videos. If you want me to talk about something, or if there's something that caught your eye or attention in this particular episode, talking a little bit more about some, you know, terms and lingo with spirituality. So if you're interested and want to learn more, I can go deeper, at least to the knowledge that I mean, to the extent that I can. But for the most part, I just want to thank you guys so much for rocking with me. I love doing this, and one thing that was said to me when I did get my records read was that I was going to be a healer in this lifetime with my voice. So don't think y'all are gonna hear me shut up anytime soon, especially now it's been validated. I need to use my voice and heal. So I hope this has brought you some healing and some light today. May the light in me sees the light in you. Make sure to stay present. The universe brings you gifts in every single moment. You see that? That was breath. That was life. Appreciate that. Be present. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Until then, spread love and good music.